Thank you for joining my video on how to make witch fingers for Halloween. We're going to use a bit of coloring, but it's not essential to use colors. However, it looks nicer if you color the fingers in green, blue, purple, orange, you choose. And this is a short version of the video, so if you're already quite good in baking and you know what you're doing, this video gives you just really short guidance on what you have to mix together, in which order, and a little bit of technique on how to shape the fingers, etc. Down below there should be two other links, one for the medium version, which is in the way of detail on how to mix things together and showing how I'm stirring it together, etc. And the third version is really one-to-one, which basically is a version of when I go to the cupboard, get the flour out, when I'm measuring the flour out, etc. So this is all the live steps, so this gives you a feeling on how long it should take you at the same time. I'm not a pro, I believe you might be not a pro either, so you may take the similar time, so you can press play on the video and then you just watch the video while you're actively doing it in the kitchen as well. So this is for version 3. Please note, I do quite a bit of dough in this video, so you follow please the orange letters if you just want to make about 40 witch fingers. If you want to do more and you want to use more coloring, please keep an eye out for the text that's popped up during the video to guide you where you should be going if you want to skip certain steps. So it's absolutely up to you on how you want to use the video, but I hope you find this video enjoyable and useful. Thank you very much. So then theoretically this can be mixed together. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Oops. We've got the egg, vanilla extract, and this one can beat now for a little bit. So since I use self-raising flour, I'm not going to add any additional baking powder. Put one spoon after another in. Cling film over it and goes in the fridge for about 40 minutes. Okay, what we do now is the dough. Before we can put it in the fridge, because we've got quite a lot, we can already put some food coloring in it. And we can split it in little balls, which then can go in the freezer. So maybe we like to do that first. Let's see. Ha 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 ha. Okay. Oh, wow. Great. So yeah, I think this blue looks actually pretty good. Okay, so All right. Let's get another beautiful amount of dough. As you see, I've got plenty to do, quite a lot of fingers. So obviously now I just need to warm it up a little bit. Okay, now my skin has been food colored. Wonderful. Okay. So now I'm just going to make a little bowl out of it again, so it's easier to put the coloring in. I think I'm just going to do the traditional green. Yeah, I love it already what it starts to look like. I mean, obviously, if it's easier for you, you can use a bowl, or if you don't want to get any food coloring on your worktop, if you're afraid that the coloring is going to sink into your worktop, that's being absorbed, then yes, don't do it. Then use a bowl. Well, I get a lot of green on my fingers. Maybe my finger's going to look like witch fingers after as well. Okay, this is a bit too light for me. I like it a little bit in a stronger green, so I add a little bit more. Because last year I did fingers as well, and I did the lighter green, which looked fine, but then with the stronger green, the impact of the look of the finger is amazing. So you can see the coloring is getting darker and darker. And I could add a little bit black, but I think I just leave it. I think that's a decent colored green. Obviously, it's totally up to you. If you want to have it in a stronger green, you add more green to it. There we go. Grease-proof paper, baking. So it's still quite cold, but kind of it's good. It's cold because I'm thinking about the butter. I hope you wash your fingers before you start touching the dough. Very important, always wash your fingers. So you just take a little amount, depending how big you want to make your fingers. I want to make some smaller fingers now. Once you roll it out to a little sausage shaped dough, you place your 2 fingers, press in a little bit. So this is kind of trying to create this illusion. Then if you have a toothpick, let's put the nail in here as well first. So obviously the almond is representing the fingernail, and then you put those things. So those are basically those little ones, and here the finger stripes. And then you just lift it off your worktop and place it here. And then now we're just going to do the normal process of rolling those fingers. Put the knuckles in. No, let's use the big almonds. And I find the contrast between the dark almond and the green finger is, I love it. I love it. You might want to start preheating the oven. So what you want to do is, obviously you're going to switch it on. I'm going to use the fan, but I use the Eco one. And then remember 165. If you have gas, it's Mark 3 or 325 Fahrenheit. Okay, so let's continue. So, just to avoid it's too high, especially if you have a gas oven, so you've got obviously fire in there, and creating additional hazard for a fire. Okay, let's put the first fingers in the oven, and then obviously we continue working on the other fingers. So shaping the fingers has taken us now probably about 10 minutes. And what I'm doing now, I'm just going to set the timer to 20 minutes, and then we're going to check. Then maybe you have to add another 5 minutes to 10 minutes. It's obviously depending on how your the quality of your oven. Okay, so there we go, our first fingers. They are hard, that's what we want. And I think they're looking good. So, okay, then this tray is ready to go in. And then we're just going to set the timer again to 20 minutes. So 20 minutes seems to be working perfectly fine with my new oven on Eco Heat. And 165 degrees seems to be pretty perfect. So now little fingers bake. So those came out now. As you can see, I just find this purple looks really disgusting. It's Halloween, so I think with some red blood, I think will look quite good. Okay, congratulations, we're on step 3 now, where the mess begins. If you decide to use icing with water and a bit of red food coloring to give the illusion of red blood running down the finger that we baked. However, if you don't want to do that and you're in a rush, just use some strawberry jam, lift off the almond, put the jam on there and squeeze the almond back on there and you're done. I'm going to do the longer version of doing the frosting. It does look better. You will see in a moment. Then wash your hands, get ready, let's go. One, two, then we're going to put 50 gram of icing sugar in there. Oh, anyway, we want to put half a tablespoon of vanilla flavoring in. Sometimes you might feel you need more icing sugar or less icing sugar, whatsoever. You just have to amend it, the thickness. So now the fun part is we're going to put some red food coloring in. And this is again something you need to play around with. Okay, to me this looks now a little bit pinkish. So I add one little drop of just a little bit of black. Hopefully this makes it a little bit darker. Well, it should make it darker. Let's see if it's the right amount. And I mean, this is a freedom as well. You can make it as bright or dark colored as whatever you want. Yeah, I think this looks fine. And this is what you just keep on doing now. It's quite fun doing it. Yep. Okay, so now I'm just going to take those. Okay, so now I want to do a little bit of extra coloring for those few fingers. I really don't want much. Probably now again I need some icing because I want to make this one quite dark now. And then obviously, because this one is quite liquid, yeah, this looks quite nice to me. But this way it just looks pretty good, I would say. Okay. Okay, so this is it now. Congratulations, completed. Different colors, different witch fingers. I think they all look nice. Okay, thank you very much for watching. More videos will be posted and better ones as well, I promise. Okay, thank you.